So our question of the day is, if Salem were a Hogwarts house, which one would it be?
Oh. Twins Day. I got dressed first.
Yeah, well, my jacket is my jacket. I can't do anything about it. Okay, so today we are driving up to Salem, Massachusetts, and just for an extra added element on top of that, I think we're going to do a survey of locals. So our project for the drive is to come up with questions to ask people at, whatever, restaurants or museums or wherever else we run into them. I did Facebook message the mayor asking if she wants to participate, but she hasn't seen the message yet, so we'll see if she shows up. But otherwise, I think it'll be fun to go see the sights, but also get to meet some people and hear some interesting stories and perspectives.
Yep. So we have been discussing what questions we're going to ask people in Salem about the place. Do you want to share?
So our survey, really I feel needs to be kind of on point, but also something that nobody's asked before. If Salem, Massachusetts were a Hogwarts house, which house would it be? And I'm wagering on Ravenclaw. I've never been there, it's just, but given the vibe, I'm thinking that Ravenclaw is going to win out. What do you think?
Probably a good bet. I could go Hufflepuff.
You think maybe Hufflepuff?
Maybe Hufflepuff.
Okay. Okay. So, the traffic was awful, and parking is limited to residents only pretty much everywhere. So, I have no idea if this street, but it's like a quarter mile away from the burger place Norelle is at.
Welcome to Salem, everybody. Just had some lunch at Mercy Tavern, and we are going to check on where we parked to make sure it's good to go before we do some more exploring. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, Salem, Massachusetts is one of the older cities, towns in the Massachusetts Bay Colony. I don't know the exact year that it was founded, but it's kind of mostly known for the Salem witch trials, which happened between February 1692 and I think May 1693. And over 200 people, both men and women and children, were accused of witchcraft over the course of that time, and 30 of them were found guilty during the course of the trials, and 20 were murdered. And so we're going to check out the memorial here in a little bit. But yeah, most of them, I believe 19 people were hanged, and then one guy was pressed to death because he refused to plead guilty or not guilty.
So to top off that thought, ever since then, well, really starting around the 1800s, Salem has been famous for those witch trials, but also kind of embraced it as part of its history. And now it's kind of the witch and supernatural capital of the Northeast, if not the United States. So that's why everybody here celebrates full on as soon as October hits. By the way, I did get our first survey contestant member checked in. It was our waitress, and I asked her, couldn't do it on camera, she was pretty busy. She took a minute and thought about it. She is team Gryffindor as far as which house Salem would be if it were at Hogwarts. She also said there is a whole Harry Potter store we should check out. All right, we just asked one of the ladies that lives in a house next to where we parked, and she said, yeah, we're probably gonna have to move it. But I did ask her which house Salem would be in, and she also said Gryffindor. So now we're reparked, and actually, yeah, 30 bucks for parking legally now, but we are very close to the center of town now. So I think we may expand the sample size to more than just locals for this survey here, because so far the locals don't really want to be on camera, and most of them haven't seen Harry Potter in a while. Also, I just did ask 2 girls dressed up in Harry Potter costumes which house they thought, and they both said Slytherin. This guy's probably famous.
There's the Hawthorne Hotel after Nathaniel Hawthorne.
I'm Danny, we have a YouTube channel, and we're trying to figure out if Salem were a Hogwarts house, which house would it be?
Ooh. I have to say Slytherin.
Yeah? Okay, that's the second one in a row. Cool, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're trying to figure out which house Salem would be in Hogwarts.
Yeah, Old Salem I'd say is like more Death Eater.
Death Eaters, okay.
Yes, because of what happened.
Yeah.
New Salem is very mixed.
So it's like all of Hogwarts.
Just Hogwarts houses.
Yeah, that's what we're trying. I mean, like, I accept the Death Eaters
In
because
general,
that's legit.
you know, I'm gonna go with. Oh, that's hard. There's so many different types of people in the community, but I'm gonna go with Gryffindor in general.
Okay. Just about every local has said Gryffindor.
Because we have all these different communities, but there's a lot of courage and perseverance to what people are doing and how far we've come.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's why I think it should be Gryffindor.
Very cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so not Slytherin. Too
Nope,
nasty.
Too mean.
Yeah.
Hufflepuff is too nice. Ravenclaw, I would have to go with Gryffindor.
Oh, Gryffindor for the lead. Okay. All right.
Plus it had Hermione in it, and
Yeah, that's true. And Harry,
yeah,
the main characters.
yeah. You didn't hear much about the other two, except for Slytherin.
That's true. Thank you.
All right.
So it's unfortunate this burying ground behind the Witch Memorial is closed for like conservation, renovation, whatnot, and there are some notable people buried there, including the judge who convicted all of these innocent people for whom this memorial is in place.
And on each end, you'll see that the words are cut off in mid-sentence.
If Salem were one of the Hogwarts houses, which one would it be?
Slytherin.
Yeah, Slytherin? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a theme.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
would
have a
say
good
it's because
spread.
they like to, I guess, because they like to steal all the money
Okay.
from a horrible thing that happened. And I'm a tour guide.
Aw.
But, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I would say Slytherin.
If Salem were a Hogwarts house, which one would it be?
I'd say
Ravenclaw? Okay, hey.
Yes. First vote for Ravenclaw.
Hufflepuff? Yes.
And what's with the hat? Cool. That was the only question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So that's another long line to get in.
And they close at 5.
It's
And
4:30.
4:40.
It's okay. It's nice. It's a nice walk. Honestly, it's a beautiful town, and
day.
And all these museums, they're probably just the same thing. I mean, it's not like there's that much history. It's a lot of history and fantasy probably mixed together. But, oh, there's stocks. Norelle, go get in the stocks. Will you answer for your crimes?
I will not. I have no regrets.
That's right.
Okay, so if Salem were a house in Hogwarts, which house would it be?
Slytherin.
That was fast. What do you think?
I want to say Ravenclaw, honestly.
Yes, that's mine too. Awesome. Great.
Question is, if Salem were a Hogwarts house, which one would it be?
Gryffindor? No, Slytherin.
Maybe, yeah.
Slytherin,
We're getting
right?
a lot of Slytherin.
Dark, right? It's
He
kinda
thinks
dark.
Ravenclaw,
Yeah,
and my
I'm
vote was
going for
Hufflepuff.
Oh.
Yeah. So our question of the day is, if Salem were a Hogwarts house, which one would it be?
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be Hufflepuff because it's very friendly, but there's a little Slytherin side to it.
Okay.
Like I feel like late night could be a little Slytherin
Yeah.
in there.
We're hearing a lot of Slytherin from people.
Okay,
so.
then let's go with Hufflepuff and be different.
Okay, great.
Hufflepuff. Mine's
What about you
Ravenclaw.
guys? Do you agree?
I agree.
Wow.
I agree with
Awesome.
Slytherin's your most popular answer?
Yes. So
I mean,
far,
I
yeah.
do see the Slytherin, but definitely because of the
Yeah.
dark history, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool.
Dang it. Norelle just did a whole group and they all went Hufflepuff, so I think that swings the scales pretty far. We're gonna have to do the tallying in a little bit. Okay. That was way more crowded than I thought it'd be. But it was fun. But the lines were all just insane to
It's
get
almost
in.
like Disneyland to get into like Emporium 23 and
Yeah, just
the
all the
wicked
little
books.
shops. Yeah, you have to wait like 15-20 minutes in a line, so we just walked around. Definitely worth coming back though.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll come back before Halloween. Probably off season and see the good stuff. Yeah, my recommendation is Salem off season right now. But I'm leaning Hufflepuff, so we're gonna do the tally and figure out exactly where we landed.
I've never, and that leaves feed, or if I would, maybe make it a paid only, like you could go, download the thing.
So we had to give you a rundown of the votes for which house Salem would be if it were a house in Hogwarts. And Gryffindor had a strong lead. A lot of the locals we initially talked to were definitely Team Gryffindor. But the way it turned out was 2 points for Ravenclaw, 4 points for Gryffindor, 6 points for Hufflepuff, and 8 for Slytherin. So Salem is House Slytherin. So it was a great trip into Salem, and I have to say, I mean, you probably noticed from the video, we didn't get to do any tours. We didn't really get to do much, but I think like with COVID that was okay. There were a lot of long lines to get into places just because of capacity and trying to social distance, which was fine. And so I almost felt better not doing like a museum tour, like cramped in a small space with a bunch of people, although everyone was wearing masks and they had mask on restrictions for all the main areas, so they're definitely doing what they can to be safe. I would just say if you're gonna go, maybe go in the off season, especially during these times. But overall it was a really fun day and great weather. We had a lot of fun and just also a lot of fun talking to people. So that's it for this episode, but like and subscribe if you did, and tell us what you think house that Salem should be in Hogwarts.